Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vine Panther Presents. Today, Chris and I are back to discuss The Chi, Season 4, Episode 3. Things are moving forward as they try to counter police brutality in the Black community of Chicago. Jada's situation with cancer is being addressed. Emmett, once again, shows that he's a self-centered piece of shit. This episode, I'm saying trigger warning, not only in the title, but also right now. Like you might want to cut this video off because I'm really about to shit on this show. Like I was really upset with some of the things that they try to portray as blackness, or I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do this episode. But I would want to cancel The Chi when I watched this episode. Like I really was like, the show could end just now, just right now, just be done with it. Because I'm not sure where this is going and why we're still watching this bullshit. So. Let's talk about the idea that once Duda, as mayor, says, hey, we're going to defund the police. The police said, who somehow has a white police chief, even though in real life, Chicago has a black mayor and a black police chief. But let's not talk about facts. The white police chief says, well, we're not going to send the cops to the black community since they don't want us. Which is interesting because that's exactly what I said, actually. I was like, you know what? Since we're going to go down this road that somehow cops, white, racist, Trump-supporting cops are the only threat to the black community, let's see what happens when you leave the black community to themselves and how that works out. So I was surprised that they went that route. I was actually interested to see where it went, and it did not disappoint. Like, we leave people to themselves. Then you realize who's the real threat, the most consistent threats to the black community, which is, the black community, for example. Let's talk about police brutality. So when I was looking at this episode, I realized that let's talk about Tracy and the unnecessary sexcapade that happened at the end of this episode. What the fuck porno are we trying to watch right now?
We were watching P-Valley or something. I don't know.
I was like, what is happening right now? Like, not only is she fucking Duda, but now she fucking Duda in front of Rosalind? Like, how did we get here?
$5 million goes a long way, man.
When he said, what would you do with $5 million? In my head, I said, she's gonna like suck your dick. Like that's apparently that's why you're giving me this money. Anyway, let's remember one thing, that Tracy's son was murdered by a cop in season 1, a corrupt cop who happened to be working with local drug dealers, actually. But my point is that when Duda / Mayor Otis is trying to highlight police brutality and he meets Tracy, why did he not hold a press conference in front of the mural of her dead son with Jake to say these two people are what we mean when we say police brutality is destroying our community? Tracy's son, who was a basketball player about to go to college, was murdered by a cop, a white cop on top of that, just in case you want to throw racism there for no damn reason. He was killed by a white cop. That's a story you can sell when you're trying to be like, look at white police brutality on black folks. Then you show Jake and be like, look, even my adopted whatever, you know what I'm saying, is getting his ass whooped by the cops. We need to stop this type of brutality. Like, that's a storyline that makes sense.
Yeah.
Instead,
go ahead.
We got orgies going on. Like that's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Giggity. All right. Giggity.
And then OnlyFans apparently got a lot of highlighting in this episode. Like, what? Fuck me.
The line or whatever. Hey,
two. Hold up. We're gonna.
What was the second one? I remember the one about the one who was knocking her girl out because she was making money. She was paying rent with OnlyFans. But what was the second one?
The first one actually was Shreed or Shade. What the fuck do? When you talking about that Jake got his dick sucked on Instagram by a white girl with the OnlyFans.
Oh, that's right, the white girl. Yeah.
So anyway,
I think he was joking. I don't think he was serious about that. I think he was joking. I don't think he really knew. I heard on the street. I was like, nah. First off, she's 15. There's no way they would give someone like.
My point is that the writers just wanted to highlight that they knew what OnlyFans was. Is all I'm saying. Like they wanted to make sure that OnlyFans is getting some hot. Not Pornhub, for example. OnlyFans is now the standard of women want to show their asses on the internet. Anyway.
And men, hey, let's be fair, men too. There's a lot of men on OnlyFans.
Yeah, but this episode wanted to highlight women, or just the women gender. Anyway, my point is we're gonna get into this black on black crime and how somehow that's just glossed over as let's not point fingers at each other. But anyway, let's talk about Trig. I like that. Like Trig was actually the voice of reason in this episode. Like he was trying to be a father figure to Jake when he's like, stop playing video games and go to school. Like he asked real parenting questions, like how are you suspended and going to school? Like how does that even work? And he's like, well, I'm in school suspension because of what happened. And then I'm like, okay, so he's actually caring. He actually tries to be the one that tries to tell said black man who's beating up on his wife for trying to keep a roof over their head that, hey man, so as we talk about Jake and and fucking what's his name? Kevin somehow has his cell phone. Like he's suspended, but somehow his mama doesn't know why he's suspended. Like she doesn't know that he was doing drugs, throwing up on a school trip.
Well, I guess that's what I'm about to say about both her and Trig. How is it that none of them, like, I mean, they knew that they're suspended, but are you telling me that the kids passed along that they're suspended and the parent and the teachers don't tell you at all about suspensions and what in school suspension, how that operates? That doesn't make any sense. That's why I kind of laugh when you said, "Oh, Trig is being like a father figure," and I'm like, "Well, not that much if he had to ask questions about in school suspension."
At least he asked the question because Nina was like, "Okay, well, I guess you again." She took his phone away last week because he was talking shit. He gets suspended for taking drugs and at school, but somehow she's like, "Hey, son, just fill out this piece of paper and what your life means and make better choices." What?
Well, because of the whole essay thing.
No. I'm talking about her list of years that if you do well from this point to this point, then all these.
Oh, that whole thing. Yeah.
I'm like, are we going to discuss the bad decisions he made on this school trip and why he's suspended in school suspension from school, not expelled the way he should be? Like,
I mean that depends. Yo, I mean, I went to a Catholic school and we had kids that got caught doing stuff similar and suspend. It looked bad on the school. I'll put you like this: looked bad on school when they expel folks. So it was like, you know what I mean? It's like you had to be like literally, it would have to be like literally sexual assault type stuff where it's like you're expelled, like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, we want to suspend you, but it like, yeah, you know, and that was just at a Catholic school that I was at. So I wasn't surprised. I say that to say a slight part of me was surprised until I had to look back to when I was in school and I was like, nah, but I was like, damn, but so-and-so, I won't say the person's name, so-and-so stayed in school too, you know, after being caught. I was like, all right, well, so never mind, I'm gonna shut up then. I was like, I'm gonna shut up now, you know. It wasn't no 1 day school suspension though. You know, homie was suspended for like about a week, you know, and then he came back and then it was, yeah. It was like, he was suspended for a week and then had detention for like another week or two, you know what I mean? But now a lot of schools, they don't like expelling folks because of how bad that looks on their record, you know?
Well, let's talk about this in-school suspension scene, which completely
that was ridiculous.
So Mr. Cooper, the white man, is saying, I'm sorry, black children. I know you were oppressed for 400 years in slavery and you had no choice but to act out. What did they think they're going to do? Throwing you crumbs. Mr. White Man, do you know why they're sitting there?
You said Cooper? His name was Mr. Cooper?
Yes, his name was Mr. Cooper.
Oh, they were hanging with Mr. Cooper.
With Mr. Cooper.
I had to throw that. I'm sorry. I just get it. I know that's corny.
Okay, so again, let's remember why they're sitting there, ladies and gentlemen. Jake is sitting there because he fucked a white girl at a white college. That's why he's sitting there. It's not because he fought the cops and the cops won. That's not why he's sitting there. Okay. Kevin is sitting there because he took drugs hanging out with white kids at a white college. That's why they're there. So this whole bullshit that they need to write essays about black oppression has nothing to do with the fact that they're in school suspension. And where is Dakota? Miss, I want to give you a hand job on the bus. where is she at? Like, why is she not suspended? Like, Jake was with her. Now, see, if you now that could have been a fair conversation. If Jake is like, why am I here and not Dakota? Well, because she's white, because she's a woman, because her like that would have been an interesting conversation. But let's acknowledge why they're there. Okay, they're not civil rights leaders. Okay, they're not there because they were fighting the white man. Jake was there because he was fucking a white girl. Like, that's why he's there. Okay, and Kevin didn't see color when he was up there playing video games with white college kids and beat their asses and took drugs that they gave him. So, not sure why the whole slavery oppression speech was even provided by the good one. This black writers wrote a scene where a white person says, I'm one of the good ones, and then found a white actor to actually say that shit.
Well, that might have been the Star's leadership. Be like, hey, you can't do that. You got to put a white person in there. And, so you think Star is owned by a black person?
One's Showtime.
I'm sorry, Showtime. I'm sorry, Showtime. I know. I'm thinking it's Power. Yes. Okay. Fine. Sorry. I can't help it.
It's okay.
The same thing with Showtime. No. Who's Showtime owned by?
Not by Star. We're getting off track.
No, I'm talking about as far as I'm saying, like, basically as a white person, like it basically probably was like just like Disney. It's like, yes, I know you're making this Marvel film, and I know that we gotta give you creative control, but you can't do it like this. So you got to put this in here. You know what I mean?
He was not affirmative action hire, Chris. Like they wanted.
No, I'm talking about putting that line in there. So like, hey, we're allies too. Hey, got to put the line in there about us allies.
I still blame black writers for that. They're the ones who wrote the show. But anyway, that's the least of my problems with this episode. So Trig, again, once the cops say we're not taking care of the community anymore, Trig and Tracy and the community, along with Papa's father who's back somehow again.
He's back. Woo!
I guess we didn't worry about the money laundering. We're gonna let that go because clearly they let that go. So now he's holding a meeting with mostly black women to discuss how to stop violence in the black community, which doesn't make a lot of sense because it's black men who are committing the violence in said community. And very few of them were there. Like that's the population you need to be speaking to, okay? Because let's in just this season, in this just series, let's not forget about the real life, what's going on in Chicago and black men killing each other. Let's just talk about this show, okay? So let's see. Coogie was killed by Ronnie, a black man. Ronnie was killed by a black man who ended up apparently the black man who tried to beat up Kevin for wearing a school uniform, right? Reg is dead because he was killed by a black man, right? So then let's see. Then Mayor Duda over here is in charge of the 63rd Street mob who sent black men to beat up old women to kick them out of their houses, including Ronnie's grandmother, who put her in the hospital. That also happened. In this episode, the first call that Trig has to deal with is a black man who's beating up or at least arguing with his black wife, who's trying to keep food on their table and a roof over their head because he can't get a job. So then he fights with his girlfriend to the point that he destroys the house. And then what happens? Trig and Big Mike show up. This black man punches Trig. Then Big Mike pulls a gun on this black man. Stop. Call to a domestic abuse, to a domestic violence situation. People try to resolve said situation. Black man pulls a gun on these people. No, black man fights with these people. Said officer trying to defend himself pulls a gun, and somehow nobody's pulling out their cell phones. Nobody's screaming out police brutality. Oh, I'm sorry, they're not cops. So we're not screaming out black on black crime. Big Mike just pulled a gun on this man.
Oh, you wanted them to pull cameras out.
Since you pulling the gun on a black man is a crime, right? I mean that's what it means, right? I mean,
no. But the cameras is for accountability of the cops. No. You do that to a black man, especially someone like Big Mike. Oh, he'll probably turn around and kill you one day. Like it's like the whole idea of snitching. It's like trust me, people will snitch on the cop before they'll snitch on people in their community. So that's why the whole like the whole. I thought you were just trying to comment on the fact of like why didn't no one have their cell phones.
I am commenting on the fact.
I'm basically answering that question. I'm answering.
That's because it's so common that we don't hold each other accountable, Chris. Like, you're okay with that?
No, I'm not. No, see, that's not what I said.
Okay,
I'm
my fault.
talking about literally the reason why people put out their cell phones in the first place is because people don't believe other people when they say, "Hey, a cop beat someone up for no reason." You know, anyone could believe. Yo, if me and you fight or whatever, I don't need to put my phone up to say, "Hey, Dave attacked me." But you were cop, and is my word against your word? Whose word they're gonna take? They're gonna take your word. But the phone changes that now. The phone evens the playing field. That's all. That's the reason why the phone comes out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this right. I'm not. That's not. I'm only answering the question why people pull out their phones out in the first place. That's it.
I understand. That's
all I'm saying.
But once again, we don't see. We're calm. It's okay when we hurt each other. It's okay when we put guns on each other. Let's talk. So then Keisha was kidnapped and raped by a black man. Her boyfriend, Nuck, who did not make any effort to find her last season, is trafficking black women in last season and in this episode.
I wish they would have ever got back to that whole idea of Keisha messing with Nuck. That to me, that was the most craziest idea ever. Like, what is Nuck? I mean, it's kind of weird that Nuck would be messing around with this young girl in high school that has like this somewhat middle class girl in high. It was just really weird. And then same deal with like Keisha messing. It was just, I just found that so weird, and I thought they would eventually get back to the whole idea of why would she hook up with Nuck, who's just really bad dude in the first place. Now, he's not just like a typical like, yo, he's a badass. No, this is a really bad guy. Like, it just did not make any sense to me. And then this episode also, like, they brought him back. So I'm like, oh, they brought him back, and I bet they're never going to explore the whole idea about him and Keisha used to being together again ever. You know, I just found it really weird and awkward. I don't know.
That's because he's too busy continuing to force black women into prostitution, and that, as we see this again, all happening to black people by black people. Yeah. Amani's like, hey, should we do something about this? And her black friends and her black boyfriend are like, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, this woman needs to work this shit out on her own. Where the fuck is the support from their own black community? Like, where's the fucking like, hey, we can take care of ourselves? Apparently you can't. Okay, apparently, you know what I'm saying, you're okay with this shit. Like, Reg is like, so Trig is like, they don't work for me. And that's when Amani's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're in charge of the 63rd Street mob. All these people are supposed to work for you. What's happening with any of this? How is forced prostitution still happening in this neighborhood?
It's just weird. I don't understand the writing on that, at least for that particular, those two scenes right there. It's just really weird.
It doesn't make any fucking, but again, they want to push you that I'm saying that it's the white cops that are a real threat to these black people. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, they're a threat. But in this show, almost every black person has been killed by a black man. That's real. Okay. And I'm saying, and I'm like, and that's kind of reflective of real life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I'm like, and that's all like, but you trying to act like none of that shit, it doesn't matter. That's not pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah, one of the things I wish that just people in general, not even just black people, just people in general. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of bad things going on in this country and whatnot that should be addressed. And we put certain people in power that we wish and we hope that they do well, and they don't. But I mean, we also got to look at like some accountability stuff too. You know what I mean? Yes, the whole cops doing bad stuff, that definitely needs to be addressed, and it definitely needs to be handled. You know what I mean? And justice needs to be but I really wish but at the same time, we also kind of, I mean, I love the community outreach programs where you do see, like, for example, like former gang members group up together and say, hey, we dropped the guns and we're dropping out, trying to stop the violence, whatever, for our kids. And I feel like we don't get enough of that. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I guess, the cops are a threat to us, but we are too. we're a threat to our own selves as well. So, I mean, like, yes, like defunding the police, cool. Like stuff we do for Black Lives Matters, cool. But we also need to address the other stuff too. You know what I mean? And I don't think we do enough of that. I just don't think we do enough of that. I mean, and I get it because these like certain people higher officials, we put people at a higher level and we expect a different result with these guys. So therefore, when they do something bad, it's like, oh my God, like just like for example, someone do something bad as a congressman, you're like, oh, that's bad. Compared to that person now becomes president, you're like, oh, whoa. You know what I mean? It's like you're now at a higher level. You should not be doing that, you know. But same time, we also need to be reflective as far as what's going on just around ourselves too, you know.
That's all I'm saying, Chris. That's what I'm saying. Like this show needs to do a better job of making some effort to hold each other accountable. But let's talk. I want to talk about Papa, right? So Papa's effort, for example, which was sweet. I understand he was trying to do, but it's also misguided. It also shows a problem that he thinks. One, he said, "Why are you writing signs that says this is a Black-owned business?" Because he said that when the protesters come, I don't want to lose my job. So he's confusing protesting with looting, like somehow burning down a building and destroying Smokies was somehow any form of actual protesting. And he thinks that these protesters, who obviously he believes are Black, are going not going to destroy Smokies because it's a Black-owned business.
No, you know, so actually, so that actually, it's funny you say that because there were actual buildings in DC. They would spray paint stuff like Black-owned businesses. It's similar to like what the whole like putting lamb's blood around the door when during Passover, like more like hey, we acknowledge you. You know what I mean? So it's like, and so I think that's what he was basically doing. Just like, and then that's why you even see like some of the white businesses, they will put like signs up that says Black Lives Matter, but like say, okay, we're not Black owned, but we'll put in Black Lives Matter to say, hey, like please, like don't come after our bit. So I basically say that to say whether it's right or not. I'm just saying, what Papa did was some real shit. That was something that people actually do. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying I felt what Papa did was realistic. That was a realistic take.
Unfortunately, it's realistic. And unfortunately, the fact again that he confuses criminal looting with protesting is sad. And and there's plenty of Black businesses because most of those looters don't give a fuck. They ain't out there they're being civil rights activists. They're out there to get stuff and they don't care who the business is. There's plenty of videos of Black businesses being ransacked, okay, by looters. Okay. But it was just irritating. Again, I know where he was going with it, but I was really sad, you know, to be like that. This is that he actually thinks that that's the same thing, you know, and no one is trying to help him to be like protesting is one thing, destroying a business is a crime, and that shit's not okay, no matter what your reason is. Okay, but anyway,
yeah. Within any protest, you might have also some bad apples. That's the thing, you know, and it's and that's what he's acknowledged. So no, so I don't think. I mean, I don't think he confused anything. I mean, you can have a great protests as well as also having looters within those protests. You know what I mean?
But when
you don't put loot. You don't just say people who are looting there. That represents all protesters. No, that's a very. I mean, even if you go freaking Fox News, if they want to be perfectly honest with you, you know, like you can. There is no report in saying that the vast majority of these protesters are looters. No, it is a very small number of them, and because of that, it just makes the whole crowd look bad. But but so that's why they would say you got to be careful with it, and that's why they're also people got to be cautious when it comes to these cameras, because yes, like if you give me a camera, I can pinpoint anything that's bad, anything. I can make anything look bad. You know what I mean? But and then just not focus on everyone else that are praying in the middle of the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh no, that part's boring. Oh, there's a CVS. Oh, go. Oh, look what they're doing to CVS. Fire in a trash can. Oh, look at those 5 kids. Oh yeah, but there's 100 people. No, these 5 kids zoom in on these 5 kids over here.
Again, I know the difference. Yeah. I'm saying my point is they didn't do enough to show that there is a difference, to explain to Papa that protesting It's not the looters. For him to be like, I'm saying like he doesn't see the difference, and show him it would have been a good opportunity to try to explain the difference. I understand. I agree with you. There is a difference, right? I'm saying, but separate those two. It was not in that. But anyway, Emmett, Jada. That's what I want to do. I want to talk about something positive. You know, Jada, and Dre trying to work her cancer treatment.
That's gonna backfire.
Which part?
Well, for one, Dre, yo, I already know how they're gonna turn out. Homegirl. What's Kevin's mom? What's her
Dre?
name? No, Kevin's mom.
Oh, Nina. Well, they're both his moms.
Nina is going to think that Dre is messing around on her,
and that's what I thought. Like that's
it's coming. Oh, don't worry. You mean thought? No, it's going to happen.
Like that's
I think that's going to happen. I'm pretty like she was on the phone like, oh yeah, I got you. Like, oh, we're going to be okay. And like click. He said, oh yeah, I got to work late hours. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, I know where they're already going. I already know where they're going with this. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, you know. So, you know, and actually, because I was like, why didn't you tell Nina? But okay, but they probably thought about you. Because they were like, why would you tell Nina? Whatever. And they're like, okay, well, all right, so we got to put an explanation why you can't tell Nina. Because she got a big mouth. She'll tell Keisha, and Keisha would probably tell Emmett.
Well, that's because Jada, again, Jada's a great mom because even despite she's going through cancer treatment, she's still trying to look out for her shit son, Emmett, who's like, she don't want to put the pressure of her cancer treatment on Emmett, who's dealing with his own shit that he cheated on his woman again, and now he's dealing with those consequences. But he's like, oh, he's a child, like he's going through some shit, despite the fact that he basically breaks into her house, harasses her boyfriend, and still makes everything about him. Like she's trying to tell him something and he ain't even trying to hear it because he's like, it's all about me right now. And I'm like, but she's still trying to look out for him, even despite all the stupid shit that Emmett does. And just his storyline, dude. And then, so for Tiffany to be like, hey, I got an idea. How about we have an open relationship? And Emmett's immediate thought was, so I can fuck around? No, we both are gonna fuck around. He's like, both of us are gonna fuck around? I don't understand that. Like he's confused on the idea that both of them can have sex with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little confused too. I mean, in the sense of like, I don't necessarily, because depending on who you talk to, people have different concepts as far as what an actual open relationship is. Like if you would just tell me straight up, what's an open relationship? I'm gonna just think like it's just straight up like you just bring other people to your bed and it's like threesome stuff. But no, it's not. It just means, I don't know. People have different definitions of open relationships. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I really do think if he would just told homegirl in the very beginning and say, hey, look, this was before we got married, all this would have probably been like, wouldn't even happen. You know what I mean? Because I really do think, well, I take that back. I saw the preview next episode, so I might hold my tongue on certain things. But I do think he was trying to do good by her. You know what I mean? So like, since, you know, trying to turn a new leaf, especially when like he proposed to her and everything. And, you know, so he at that point, he's trying to do good other than being an asshole of changing the name and kicking out the one guy that kind of gave him a job and all this other shit. So
you're more concerned about him portraying Sonny.
No, I'm just saying, huh? Than Tracy?
Paying Sonny than Tiffany. Like,
no. I'm saying no. I'm just saying it just kind of. I'm basically trying to get to what you were saying about why they're writing Emmett the way they are. In the sense that I'm just, it's like they kind of trying to give him the win by basically saying, okay, he's grown up, and he's not about that crazy life anymore. And he found a girl that he realized that he loves this girl. And actually, I felt like even when he messed around even with Dom, if you remember, even after he messed around with her, it was like a freight train hit him. He was like, this was bad. It was like that moment, he was like, wow, this is horrible. And then it was like everything he did for Tiffany, it was just like legit. Like, that's a bad way to end it, but still, like, at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, he's finally turning a new leaf, and it looked like it was for good. And all of a sudden, Tiffany hits him with the whole like open relationship. I'm like,
So now it's Tiffany's fault that she's trying to compromise or something.
No, I'm just saying the way they write certain things is going to be now that they're going to make it where Emmett is going to be messing around again. That's I don't like how they're writing stuff for him essentially. They're basically going to write him basically Emmett's going to be messing around again because of that Tiffany line saying, "Hey, we should have an open place." Again, and now it's going to be Emmett's going to be messing around and Emmett's going to be immature again, and I'm not going to be down for that.
He already was again.
Yeah, no, but he seemed I knew he was a different person after the whole Dom thing. After the Dom thing, I was like, okay, he's a different guy. I just knew he was a different guy. And then because Keisha came back, they got Keisha. He started he locked himself in the room with Keisha and started talking to her. I was like, okay, he's growing. He's now finally becoming the man that his mom wished he was. Finally. And no. I'm like, no. It was like, all of a sudden, I was like someone reeled that back in. It was like, nah. Nope.
If he was trying to be a good man, he'd take care of his other 2 kids, or even
acknowledge. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say it.
But I am going to say that, especially when he tells Tiffany when she's like, "You're not my daddy," and his asshole self is like, "That's because you actually know me."
Yeah,
bitch, you got 2 other kids who don't even know you. Like, yeah. And EJ finally showed up. Where was EJ when they were having an argument about who cummed inside of who? Like.
Why would she go raw, bro?
What?
Why she go raw?
One, you don't know she did. The problem is Emmett is so ignorant.
When he asked her like, "Hey, did he pull out?" Her response was like, "He came and then I came," or something like that. Why would that be your response rather than
because you're trying to drill into the man who's fucked around on you again, just like she was like, and he eats better than you. You don't know what fucking happened in that room. She's just trying to tell enough shit to hurt him.
You think she was just saying stuff just to...
Of course she was. Of course.
Okay, I got
you. Either way, my point is Emmett, who has 3 kids.
It seemed like she was telling the truth. It seemed like she was... When she said, "Hey, he gives better head," I detected, this is Maury. We got the results right here. When it comes to whether Dante gave better head than you, and the lie detector determined that was the truth. So run backstage.
I see. It could be. I see your point. She was clearly trying to hurt him just by fucking Dante to begin with. My point is, the fact that Emmett doesn't even understand what contraception is. The fact that Emmett's first response was, "Did he pull out?" Like he doesn't even understand the idea that he could be wearing a condom.
I was about to say why? First question was like. Is he using Durex or like that? Like,
what's he put? You know what I'm saying? Like this man who has multiple kids, it's just like, well, like we don't use condoms. We just pull out. Like it's still ignorance. It still shows where Emmett is at. That he doesn't even think of the concept that maybe like did he use protection should have been the question, not necessarily did he pull out. Like, is that your biggest problem right now? And he's like, what if we don't know who you get pregnant and we don't know who the father is? She should have reminded him, and the writers should have reminded us that Emmett spent the whole first and second season denying that EJ was even his child. So I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, also black men being a threat. So remember Emmett had to save Tiffany from her boyfriend beating her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, anyway, it just, I'm like, what? And then he's a horrible character. Like, there's nothing positive about. Oh, and then Dominique also pissed me off. This woman's like, "Oh my God, you told Tiffany? Now she won't be my friend. I just looking for girlfriends. I don't got a lot of them. Maybe because you're fucking their man. Have you thought about that, Dominique? Like, stop fucking your friend's man, and then maybe they will be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's again remember that when Dominique met Emmett, she said, "Let me see your dick." That's what Tiffany should have said. Tiffany should have said that Dante got a bigger dick than you, because there's nothing you can do about that. Eating pussy, you can learn how to eat pussy better. You can improve on that. But your dick size is what it is. That's really a good way to hurt a man, I would say, in this situation, because clearly she was trying to do that.
That was mean. Yeah.
I don't know. I just I was. What's up?
No, go ahead. No.
So anyway, I want what?
Oh no. All right. So because you sometimes you pause and I'm like, all right, yeah. We're like, I don't know. Maybe we're always thinking at the same time. So good. Okay. I'll just I'll shut up.
All right. We gotta see what goes on between Tiffany and Emmett. So I don't know that's bullshit is going. Jada, so Keisha's gonna keep that baby because now she's crying over like she's gonna keep that baby. Like she's really.
Oh yeah, you see how she saw that kid? Saw Emmett's kid, like EJ at the video playing video game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah. She definitely want to keep that baby. I'm just trying to figure out that flash forward from that first episode. We saw her mother running like, oh my god, I guess like as she was going into labor, and she looked upset. Like, and I'm just wondering what that is like. What I don't know. I guess we'll get more context. I guess what was it? The 5th episode is when we're supposed to see the flash forward come to
fruition. Like by then, dude should be getting shot. I guess they're trying to fast forward. There's no progress on that. I don't feel like the voyeur sex scene gives any kind of context on whether or not who's going to shoot Duda at this point. That may I just want to wrap up on that. That makes no damn sense, bro. Like I don't even understand what was the point of any of that.
I thought she was going to join in.
I did too. Like I was like, well, and then in real life, right? Doesn't Candy and her husband do that shit for real? Like, don't they have an open relationship?
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Like Stacey knows that shit. Like apparently they got an open relationship anyway. So it's interesting that she's playing a character with said situation. I thought she was gonna get involved too. What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. Well, so it turned out that I guess my suspicion was kind of right. I guess Shot does not know that Imani
is transgender.
Was born a man.
It's transgender.
No, born a man. Transgender is still born a man. I mean, it's okay. You know what I mean? But anyway,
yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I was like, wow. So. So that's going to be something. And he looked like he took some type of way when Trig said, clean up. He said, you ain't paying for nothing. He looked so mad. I was like, oh, he about to pop. This dude about to pop something off.
Why is he even there?
He's going to show why.
He's disrespecting Trig and he's disrespecting Imani. Why is he even there in the first place? Yep. He's a bad. Oh, thank you.
What's up?
Shot is once another character that just amplifies every black stereotype I can imagine. Like when he's sitting up there trying to give Jake advice, like, remember, white girls are for fucking, black girls are for marrying.
I'm not gonna. Never mind. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
All right, let's not. Okay, so I'm like, so I the ignorance of this.
I'm not going.
It's unbelievable. Like.
You ever been in barbershops? Have you ever been in barbershops? You've been in black barbershops, right?
Stop defending this shit.
I'm not saying whether you think it's right or not. I'm just saying that is some typical. I don't care. Okay, I know you're gonna say it doesn't make it right. Whatever. It doesn't deny what people say, whether it's right or not. Like that is some typical black barbershop talk.
That man needs to go.
Whether people don't like it or not, that's just what black people say in barbershops. Stuff like that.
Jake needs to recognize that this man is not a good influence on Jake or on this household. Like he needs to kick him out immediately. All right. So I mean he's not good for that. Also, that doesn't even make sense because you know how many black women complain about the fact that they can't find a black man to marry them because black men are too busy marrying white women. There's a whole bunch of channels and books dedicated to helping black women get a black man, and all they talk about is how black men run to and marry white women. So I'm like, the statement don't even make sense.
Small, well, yeah, no, that's a small number. Yeah, but I have a. Don't make me go on. Don't make me go on those women either. So that's a separate video, dude. That's a separate video. That's several video about those women that be talking about some complaining about that. But I'm gonna save that for. We're gonna say that.
All right, Chris.
That's a separate convo.
I'm just saying it's too often. I'm hearing black women be like this. All they want is white women.
Too often. Okay, never mind.
All right. Anyway, I'm just saying.
I'm trying to lock that cage.
All right. I'm saying Shot is ignorant, and you don't need to be here. Like it just with all the stereotypes already in this show and in this episode, you don't need this man saying shit like Imani is a nigga in a dress.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? Like I'm like this.
What?
Like again, I guess, and again, like.
Wait, why do you? What? But okay, but here's the thing about shows, man. Like the show's got to be realistic as far as how people talk.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be realistic if we got these guys in Chicago talking like they're from Beverly Hills.
I see your point.
Just like we're watching Beverly Hills, we're watching a show that takes place in Beverly Hills. It ain't gonna make sense if they talk like people that lives in DC or Chicago.
I see your point. I see your point.
I'm not, whether it be right or not, it doesn't matter. You know, half of these shows you watch is about crime, so it's always wrong. So everything they do from their plot line is wrong. So how are we gonna be talking about the way they talk?
I'm saying I would like some more balance. I would like some more characters like Gemma. Thank you. Oh man,
Gemma, you think Gemma's good?
Yes, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. She got her shit together. Abso-fucking-lutely. Kevin was treating her like straight shit. I thank you for giving me the stage. So Gemma in this episode once again is trying to be nice to Kevin, trying to reach out to this piece of shit. And he treats her bad until he sees Jake on screen with her, and all of a sudden he's texting like, "Hey, girl, I thought about you, baby. I thought about because Jake is about to get that ass, okay? Because Kevin is a piece of shit and don't appreciate the woman that he got, okay?
Yeah, Kevin is a piece of shit, but I also think Gemma's a piece of shit too. I think Gemma. I think they're both bad. So I'm not turning this into like no. She's a damn hypocrite. You can't be like, hey, I want my man to be this way and this way. And then all of a sudden you start to have feelings for Jake. The man who's the exact opposite of everything that you keep saying you said in the last season. You're a damn hypocrite.
This version of Jake.
Like, nah, man, like, go somewhere. Go somewhere with your ass.
I see your point, but this version of Jake wants to do something with his life. Like this version of Jake is like, he said it on the thing. This is not the Jake from season 1 and 2. And I'm like, these writers.
What he said that makes you think, oh my God, this guy is going to be even better than a person like, I don't know, Emmett, for example. Like, all right, what Jake said? What Jake said?
Jake was like, hey, I don't want to die. I want to do something with my life. Like the fact that I was like,
that's a common response from every person. I think, everybody said, I'm pretty sure Nook will probably say something like that.
Season 1 and 2, Jake was like, I want to be a criminal. And season 1 and 2, he wanted to be just like Trig. Okay, Reg. He's gonna be just like Reg. That's who he wanted to be. That's why he stole a gun from him. That's why he was selling drugs in school. That was not the Jake in season 1 and 2. This Jake is all of a sudden is a person who's somewhat trying to get. He didn't refer to all women as bitches. I mean, yes.
Yeah. Bitches, getting hit by a white girl just randomly. And like the stuff he says that, oh, I don't know what I want to major in or whatever. Everything that Gemma does not want in a man. Even from just this season alone.
Yeah, all right.
You know what I mean? But he gets his ass kicked by a cop. Now, look at you. Oh.
That was Dakota. Thank you for your example. Kevin is pushing Gemma away.
That'd be Gemma now too. Kevin turning into Gemma too.
Kevin is pushing Gemma away, and she's going to the next man that's in her sphere.
I feel like Gemma's about to be like Dakota now too. Be like, oh my goodness, like. Oh, you got beat up. Oh, now I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, you saw how they were looking at each other. Come on now.
She talked about his cologne and everything. She's like, "Oh, are you wearing cologne?" Oh, he's about to get it. But I just love how Kevin all of a sudden gives a fuck about his girl now. No, don't get it twisted. I think he's a piece of shit. Yeah, but I'm an equal opportunist, so he's a piece of shit. But she ain't no better either. We got to see. My point is of characters who carry themselves with some type of sense. Like
Papa, that's it. I'm sorry, Papa,
Aisha, Gemma, like
Jada. I'll say Papa and Jada are the two like rock stars of the show.
Yes,
in my opinion.
All right, yes.
Jada and maybe and Dre. I'll say Dre too. Dre, I really do like Dre, even though I do think Dre is going to be caught up with this whole like. Are you cheating on me?
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Does
his mom? Does she have a job? Nina, does Nina have a job?
Don't do it.
No, I'm not. I'm like, I think she's a housewife now. Huh? I think she's a housewife now. Like, she was like, I'm gonna make lasagna. She ain't going to house. Like, she's a housewife now. Like, I'm like, she wasn't going to work too. Like Dre was going to work.
Speaking of which. Jada, didn't she quit her job as being like a home nurse specialist? Remember she quit her job?
Yeah, she quit her job to
What's
work
she doing now?
for Ronnie's grandmother. Remember?
Yeah. So what's she doing now?
Let's not ask like realistic questions like what people got to do for a living. But like she used to be a nurse. She used to be a nurse. She was working with that Latino dude, and I think she quit because she was supposed to get paid off of Ronnie's grandmother's SSI and stuff. Like and that's how because she was, I thought she was supposed to work with her, and but like that didn't go anywhere. I don't know what she's doing.
So okay. So is weed and edibles, is that all legal in Chicago?
No.
The reason why I asked because I'm thinking like, how did they get W-2s and stuff like that?
No.
Like, no, I only ask because I'm like Tiffany don't be doing shit. Like that's her job.
So
my theory is like, is she just getting like unemployment or something? Is she getting unemployment and doing that like as a side hustle?
The weed hustle is her side hustle. I think somehow marijuana is legal for recreation.
It is legal? Okay.
I think, but it's like it seems like it's undercover though. Because you remember Braden's cousin had an actual legit like business. Remember? He had all the weed stuff, like she was like getting it from him or something, and like that got cut out.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point, the only thing Tiffany does for a living is sell weed or weed type products. Is either way. Like that's her contribution to the family.
I was waiting for you to put that caveat on there and say like the only thing she do for a living is sell weed and definitely not care about EJ.
Oh,
I thought that's what you want to end it with.
They're both equally shitty parents. They're both equally shitty parents. All right. I mean, but Emmett is worse because again, he got two other kids he don't even bother to act like he's trying to take care of. Also, please note that Dominique was like, "What you doing in the kitchen? Like, you know how to do anything here?" He's like, "I'm just going through some stuff. I'm gonna play with the food." I'm like, Dominique runs that business, and I hope she leads this character to get some type of sense, and she fires Emmett to be like, "I don't need you. Like, this is my business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are taking too much of my profits when I'm doing all the work." That's another ignorant statement. So when Dominique and Tiffany finally meet each other, and Tiffany's like, "It's okay, don't fuck my man again," and Dominique's response is, "It's okay, I got my hands full with his dad."
I know, yeah, that was a bad response to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, the whole conversation was kind of awkward and weird, but for you to be like, my hands feel like so now I'm gonna take it if you and Darnell ever break up, your hands are no longer full. Oh no, you got plenty of time on your hands
to fuck Emmett again.
And now Emmett, like who responds like that? Who, you know?
Anyway,
and not only that, Darnell, it is clear they want you to know that Darnell's old as fuck. Yeah. He's like him getting high. I'm like, I don't want to be high no more. I'm like, really? Why y'all keep doing this with him? Okay, we give the earpiece. I get it. You got him the best dress out of everybody because he don't realize this ain't the type of function where you all super dressed up, whatever. But you know, it's just weird. I don't.
It's a shy, man. You just gotta let this. Yeah,
it's a shy, huh?
I just want to see how long this self-policing thing is gonna go on. I'm interested to see how it all ends because it's not gonna end well. It's just not. Like it's unrealistic and it's gonna fall apart quickly.
And it's part of the background of the stuff too. It's not even like forefront of what's going on in Shy. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't. Especially when you look at like the previews of this season. I was like if you're going to, in the wake of everything that's happened in the last year, if you're going to say, hey, this is we're going to try to focus on everything's going on like with police brutality, you don't just like kind of somewhat touch on it like here and there in every episode, but it's going to just be like background noise because that's what I feel like they're turning into. Like if you're going to put it out there, like commit to it. And I don't think they're really committing to it. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever hear about it, actually, is with Duda. Like, literally, it's like when Duda's like, because they're talking about the damn Olympics and whatnot. I think that's kind of interesting that they bring up the whole Olympics thing, seeing how the Olympics is this year too. You know what I mean? So, I just don't. I don't know. I just feel like they're like these writers aren't committing. Like, I'm okay if you want to do a whole season about police brutality. Do it about police brutality. Don't just be like, oh well, we're going to kind of have Gemma interview Jake about it, and it'll be like 3 minutes here on this episode, and that's probably the reason why Gemma and Kevin's going to break up. And then Duda trying to give money to Tracy because of the whole police brutality thing, but we're not really going to really talk about it except for like a couple lines here and there where people get pissed, and we're going to have one scene here. It doesn't, I don't know. It seems like they don't know what real plot line they're trying to go with. But the whole Keisha thing last season, it was legit. Like, yo, where's the girl at? You know what I mean? Where's Keisha?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That they were committed to that. That's why I don't feel like they're really committed to it. Like, it's just like,
see, I disagree. I disagree. I think they're overly committed. Like, I don't need to see. I mean, they have to do other things, man. There's so many other characters involved in the show. I was saying, but I do see that a major storyline in every damn episode is going to be like police brutality. I'm saying I like the fact that the repercussions of that is this whole self-policing thing. You know what I'm saying? So they're actually I'm like,
the thing with Trig, fine. Okay, I'll give you the thing with Trig. You know, like kind of, I think you kind of touched on the whole thing with Trig. Like, got to police ourselves thing. I thought that was like that's some weird shit. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. When stuff goes bump in the night, don't call 911. Call us. Like, I mean,
call the 63rd Street mob representative.
Yeah,
they will come solve your problem when they probably are your problem. Like,
it's just weird. Yeah, it's just.
How do you call the gang? How do you call the head of the gang to come solve your issue? Like, it doesn't. And that's what they haven't committed to. That's what they haven't committed to. The fact that he's supposed to be running the gang in the area, who used to sell drugs, apparently has, sex trafficking and prostitution going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they're not committing to. Police brutality is in your face every damn episode, I feel. Keisha's pregnancy is still going. Yes, there's not an episode gone by that at some point all 3 episodes have addressed police brutality in some form or fashion.
Well, no, I'm saying, but of course it's going to be in every episode. I guess what I'm talking about is the focus on it, and what I'm saying is, in previous seasons, like they using when there's a thing is strongly in each episode. I don't feel like it is that strong so far in this season. I'm just saying, if you're going to go that route, like, don't have acid, But you're saying, but you find it too much. So, wow, okay,
yeah.
We're a little different.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, we got to see where it's at.
I mean, yes, like I think when you see Duda and the whole thing with Trig, sure, you know what I mean? But, but the thing is, though, it's kind of hard for me to feel like that's Trig's focus when all of a sudden you got Shad in the mix. That's kind of like about to be a problem for him or whatnot. So obviously you got other distractions. Same thing with Duda. It's like, okay, he's upset with what's going on with police brutality, but meanwhile, he's messing around with this other girl and stuff. So it's like, but I don't see that many distractions. I didn't see that many distractions in the previous season. Things and certain people were going through stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Keisha went missing, like it wasn't like, oh, Kevin's dealing with the missing Keisha, and then there's other stuff going on with Kevin. No, that was like the majority of what was messed up with him, and it messed up his relationship with Gemma and all that stuff. It was like, I don't know. I just need them to figure out what the hell they want this season to be about. You know what I mean? Right. And throwing in some bullshit stuff about Emmett cheating a season ago. Dom knowing I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Okay, fine. He cheated. Fine. Yes. The whole thing about Jada and the whole thing about her getting breast cancer, I was so surprised that was so small in this episode. We saw more about Emmett and Emmett cheating than we saw of Gemma. Not Gemma, but Jada and breast cancer. What? Matter of fact, didn't the episode end with Jada and the whole, like, her getting a breast cancer diagnosis? It ended last episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
I prefer to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that rather than this stupid thing about open relationships. It's dumb.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I agree. I agree with you on. There should be more talk about Jada trying to seek alternative, treatments rather than chemotherapy. They could explore that more than Emmett, fuck around again. Tiffany talking to her friends about open relationships. That shit was unnecessary. I need to know who's going to shoot Duda. That's the only reason I'm watching this season.
I completely forgot about that. I don't know why.
See, Who's gonna shoot Duda? Like that's what I'm here for. Like that. Like give me some more of that. Show me another potential suspect. We haven't did that. That's what I need. But anyway, is that anything else?
The pastor shoots him.
For what?
So I try to group this community to make sure that everything, the violence going on in Chicago goes down. But then I realized it is you. You're the problem.
He is. That's the other thing. I said this in my predictions video for season 4.
Okay.
That I thought as mayor, which would have made more sense for him to say, I know good and damn well getting the cops out of the black community is not going to fix the fact that the black community is killing each other every day. Like this is political. But what it will do is give my gang the opportunity to spread out, you know what I'm saying, and build and establish more more ground in that community. Because when Trig was like, the niggas are happy, I was like, who are said niggas? If you say your niggas, actually, because you're the head of the gang. So like your niggas should be happy. Ain't no cops control. Like that would have been something if you would have found out this whole thing was a plan by Duda to make room for his criminal organization. That would be some mind-boggling shit. I'm like, that's a storyline that I would be interested in. Because he has to know, okay, that his gang and other gangs are the real threat, or the main threat to those people. Anyway, his passion is to save his people. And then that's where for Tracy to be like, you know, our mayor ain't perfect, but at least he cares. He led the gang. Did
you hear what homie said? What Marcus said to him? Said to him, was like, you better be careful with her.
Yeah.
Come on, Tracy. And it was just like what I said before. I was like, yo, everybody that Tracy's been around has like most of them died. Anyone that got close to her?
All right. Yeah.
So that was some foreshadowing stuff right there.
All right. So maybe Tracy shoots him. I mean, we do agree it's likely a woman that shoots him. I mean, we need to see more. We need to see more about why she would do it, though.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a lady.
We gotta see a lady or Jake. Anyway, anything else?
Jake. Dakota, no one would ever suspect the white girl. She was like, I had so much fun with Jake, and you mess it all up.
Yeah,
by promoting Gemma. What if it's just Gemma?
For her dad.
That would be interesting.
For her dad. Duda shits on her dad. And she shoots Duda to protect her dad.
Actually, I like that. I want that.
That's what Gemma. I want.
I want that. I changed. Yes. At first, I wanted Imani. I was like maybe Imani, but no. I want Gemma to be the one to pull the trigger.
Yes.
That her to be like her transforming and evolving into.
you want that Jake moment.
It only took one episode for her but Jake to influence her to be like, now I want to shoot a nigga. Like.
Hey, no. Okay. So somehow Jake convinces Gemma that Duda is the source of all his problems. That if it wasn't for him, you know, he'd be in college and doing something with his life. And Gemma's like, Duda is shitting on Gemma's dad, and she's like, I can take care of both my men by taking out the mayor.
Yeah,
I can see it. Now she is too busy kissing Jake, so maybe
because remember her dad was the one that chose Duda over
Lena Waithe's character.
Lena Waithe. So he could easily pull that back because the whole Olympic thing, he so wants the freaking Olympics so bad. Yeah. And he's pissed off at Duda. He's like, this isn't what I paid for. I didn't pay for you to do this.
Yeah.
And he pulled that thing back, and he makes Marcus' life living hell. Gemma's gonna be like, oh no. It'll be like homegirl from Snowfall. You know?
Mel?
You killed my dad.
Yeah, Mel.
Like, yeah, Mel, yeah. So you know.
All right, so that's our prediction. We want Jim to be the one that shoots Duda.
Yep.
We'll put it out there in the universe and see what happens. Anything else for the video?
Please get better. I'm in it. I'm like I said before. I'm in this thing. Jeez, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope for the best for next episode. I I need this show to kind of pick up a little bit.
All right.
Sorry.
Chris needs things writing gets better. I need the writing to get better. What do y'all think? If you're still watching this video, thank you very much. If you're still staying on the channel, appreciate it. If you want to join the channel, we'll also appreciate that too. You can like on the video, you can comment on the video, share the video. Actually, if you're watching this video up until this point, I like offer you an opportunity to get an Amazon gift card. It is my birthday today. So if you email me at the Iron Panther email address and say happy birthday, we will send you an Amazon gift card to appreciate your support of the channel and us. And as always, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you next week.